So the Switch has been so successful that it has become the fastest selling home console of all time in the US. Nintendo reported that it has sold over 4.8 million units in its first 10 months of availability, whereas the original Wii, which was the previous record holder, sold only 4 million in its first 10 months. Couple of comments from Reggie Fils-Aimé, the Nintendo of America president. Fans across the country have experienced the joy of playing their favorite games at home or on the go. Now that many more people have received Nintendo Switch systems for the holidays, we look forward to bringing them fun new surprises in 2018 and beyond. And they also think that they can... So they think that they will sell 14 million by the end of the fiscal year, which I believe ends in May. And then... or the end of May is the end of this fiscal year. And they think that they can sell an additional 20 million during the following financial year. So that would put it at 30 million sales for the first 2 years of launch. I think it could do it. Especially, a lot of people said, man, there's so many good games coming out in 2017 for this new Nintendo console. Well, what are they going to do for 2018? We're going to have a Nintendo Direct soon. By the time this is up, it may have already been released. But we're going to have a Nintendo Direct that will probably have some surprises for us. Again, fingers crossed for Switch. I'm sorry, Smash. Switch. Hopefully that's going to be a thing. And I think we're going to have a whole lot of other surprises.
New Pokemon RPG on the console. Maybe some information about it. I don't know. Even a name.
I don't think it's going to come out in 2018. I don't think that. They just came out with Pokemon's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
It's just a sequel. It's copy and pasted from the original with a few things different.
So why is the Switch so successful, whereas the Wii U was not as successful? Nintendo has had some stinkers. And what Nintendo has been doing, I would argue, since the Wii era, they have not focused on traditional... Well, I think it's hard to make this argument. They haven't focused on traditional hardware competition factors, such as we have a faster processor in ours than you do. We have, higher capacity media. We have this amazing new sound capability. The things that you focus on from the technical aspect for video games. Since the Wii, Nintendo hasn't been interested in that. They were until that era. I mean, GameCube was more powerful than the PS2, but not quite as powerful as the Xbox. The Nintendo 64 was very much about 3D, and we're going to be able to bring this whole new three-dimensional experience, and it was about the graphics. Super Nintendo was all about being better than the Genesis. It's just been, for the most part, up until the Wii, it was very hardware, beefy machine focused. What can this thing do on a level of graphical and audio fidelity? And then the Wii happened, and they were like, hey, we're going to give you basically the same console. It's not going to be HD. We know that that's what our competitors are doing. It's going to be standard definition. But you're going to love it because it's going to have motion controls. And a bunch of people fell in love with it for a while. It was a runaway success. You couldn't find it for the first 2 years. And then once they stopped making games for it about halfway through its lifespan, it became a dust collector for pretty much everybody. And then they did the Wii U, and we've gone into the reasons before about why the Wii U was a failure. They marketed like it was an accessory. They only ever showed the controller hardly, and then maybe at the tail end of a commercial they'd show you the console, which looked just like a regular Wii. And mistakes were made. But even then, even when people realized that it was a new system, it still really didn't sell. Because as cool as it is to have a controller with a screen on it, you couldn't take it very far with it not working. And the thing is, and that was the gimmick. And a lot of people were saying, well, Nintendo is all about gimmicks. First it was the motion control with the Wii, and then it was this tablet controller. When everyone's got an iPad, no one wants a tablet controller. And my point has been with the Switch, what do you think the Switch is? It's a tablet. But the Switch is, I would argue, it's also got a gimmick to it. The thing is it's a gimmick that gamers want, even if they don't think that they want it. I've run into people that have never picked up a portable handheld video game system, no matter who makes it. And they could be Nintendo fans, and they're just like, no, I don't play those. I only play console, because they think they're getting, like, I don't know, a stripped down version of a game that they like, and they don't see them as their own games in their own right, and they don't feel like they're worth playing or looking into. And I feel like what the Switch has done is that it has not only, made gamers like me very happy, where, the first system that was mine was my Game Boy, and I had a lot more games on my Game Boy and played a lot more on that than I ever did on my NES. And it's also opening up people like to play Doom on their TV and Skyrim on their TV, but also on the go. And the whole portable gaming thing is starting to click for them. It's not a cheap alternative to a console. It's both. It's a console and it's a handheld. So that gimmick, I think, is what has made it become so super popular and having everyone wanting one. Also, the fact that Nintendo has kept it stocked pretty well. They did that better than the Wii. And they keep the software going. Like, I think Nintendo is going to end up, they will probably outsell Microsoft pretty soon as far as Xbox One goes, and they could potentially outsell what the PS4 is doing, and the PS4 is selling well too. But this generation, I think Nintendo may just win. And it's kind of weird to say that, because I don't know what generation the Switch technically is, because the 8th generation technically started with the Wii U, and it encapsulates the Wii U, Xbox One, and PS4. So is the Switch a 9th generation console? I don't know. I kind of look at the Switch as the kind of like the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X, but it's like the Nintendo version.
Yeah, except instead of slightly improving things and changing a little bit of how it looked, is like, get this garbage out of here. Here's a new thing.
I mean, it is a lot more. It is much closer to a Wii U in terms of power than an Xbox One or a PS4. But it's also a handheld.
Yes.
It's something you can play anywhere. And you even told me that, because, I never see you playing Switch either in tabletop or handheld mode. I always see you, playing it docked. So I asked you, I was like, so do you even play this in handheld? And you said you did.
Oh yeah, a lot. It's usually when I'm here, I'd prefer to play on my...
Of course.
I have a giant TV screen that's just sitting on my wall, so I'd like to get some use out of it. And playing such a pretty game, such a pretty console, right there, is just... I prefer that over the tiny screen. Well, it's not that small. It's about the size of a phone. But if I'm like going to the restroom, feel like it's okay to say. Sometimes I'll listen to music. I'll watch videos in the bathroom. I feel like a lot of people are doing that now. You could call it weird or gross. I don't care. I make sure nothing gets on anything. I'm careful about that kind of stuff. So like occasionally I'll bring it in there if I really want to keep going.
Yeah.
And then also I took it for Christmas and New Year's. I think I spent the day at New Year's Day. I spent the day at my mom's house. For Christmas, I went over there in the morning, but I brought the Switch over so I could play Mario Kart with my brother and sister. And then when they were doing their own thing, like my brother was playing Horizon Zero Dawn on his PlayStation 4, my sister was somewhere. I just took the little thing and I just started playing Breath of the Wild, just sitting on a chair while my brother got to play his console and I got to play my console.
Yeah. So it's like you're playing off TV like the Wii U promised, except you can take it anywhere. You could do that anywhere because you were holding the whole system in your hand.
It is a console. I don't need to be anywhere near the dock. The dock doesn't need to be plugged in. And also the Pro controller that I have, the charging cable that came with it.
Yeah.
I can also charge the Switch with that too.
Yep.
So made it even better because I didn't even have to plug the dock up whenever it was running low on power. I just took the little thing out, found a little cube, plugged it into the wall, and was just charging and playing it.
Or you could charge it from the dock using that cable.
Can you really?
Yeah. Yep, same connection.
Well, does the dock store power?
Yeah, because that's how I charge my Pro controller.
Oh.
I hook it up into the dock and charge it that way.
Oh, see, I take my phone charger out of the wall before I go to work, and I put the Pro controller charge port in there. Then when I get home, I take it out, put my phone charger back in.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. I don't know if it's going to give you enough juice to keep your Switch charged. Like, it'll probably slow down the power drain, but it won't keep it.
Oh, my dock is plugged in right now. I keep my dock plugged in all the time. I switch my phone charger, my Pro controller charger, and my TV power cord all share one outlet. And I just have my Switch plugged in all the time.
You need to get a power strip.
I do have one. I keep forgetting to
use
grab it. Oh, no, it's at my mom's house from when I came home from college a year ago.
Well, I mean, what do you think of? Why do you think the Switch has been so successful, and now that it's become the fastest selling home console in the U.S.?
Well, because like most things with Nintendo, they decide to just go with a gamble, or just you're like, hey, this isn't done before. Let's try and do this. And most of the time, it works out pretty well. Motion controls being a
huge exception.
Well, I mean, when it started out, it was really fun. I remember when the Wii came out, I really wanted a Wii, and I enjoyed it when I had it. Mm-hmm. And I kind of liked doing motion control stuff. It was fun for a little bit. Having it in every game that I play wouldn't be fun, but for certain things, I don't mind it. But it's like you said, being able to take a console game like Skyrim, having it being able to play on your home television, and then you going into like something else, or you're going to like another room, like you're going from your bedroom or your living room, playing it in there, and you want to go lay down, just put the Joy-Cons on there, take it up, go in your bedroom, lay in your bed, and you still get to play Skyrim.
Yeah.
In the comfort where you want to be, and it's the same game. There's nothing different about it. It still plays the same. It's just nice.
Yeah. It's so convenient, and I love the fact that, if you want to play it in, you don't even have to take it out of the house. You want to play it in bed. You want to play it for an extended bathroom session. You want to, show if you want to run into the room, bring you to another room to show someone something really quick, you can do that. I think I at one point, like I blew your mind when I said I can use your dock if I wanted to, and you can use my dock if you wanted to. Like, the docks aren't locked to any one Switch device.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought each dock was like specifically made for that console, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, you can just... So if you've got multiple Switches in a household, you can have multiple docks around.
You shouldn't. You do.
What, for your kids? Are you talking about for kids?
Yeah,
no.
Nah. There's no way I'd spend $1,200 and was like, Switches for everyone.
Yeah.
We're like, no, here's one for you and one for me.
But it's no, I don't think it's any surprise. I don't think that this is shocking, and just the fact that the Wii U was a terrible failure and that didn't sell very well. Well, I mean, the Wii came off of the heels of the GameCube, which didn't sell all that well either. So Nintendo has ways of turning things around. It does take them a little, might take them a hardware generation to realize where they went wrong. So, glad to see they're back on the ball, though.
Yes.